What would you do if you knew that you could not fail? That's a question that sometimes gets asked this time of year as we're trying to decide and discern what God's calling us to. I think that's an okay question, but I think a more interesting question is what would you do even though you knew it was going to fail? What would you do even though you know that God's called you to this and you'll leave the success up to him to define? Quite frankly, we kind of live in the middle between those two. We do not know how our efforts are going to turn out or what God is up to often until well past the time. And yet it comes down to, I think, whether we have a mentality of scarcity or one of abundance. The 8th chapter of Mark's gospel is such an interesting time in Jesus' ministry. In it, he is telling his disciples something that they heard on Sermon on the Mount, and he is reinforcing it. He said, look, you can trust me. You've seen me feed 4,000 on a hillside. I've healed people. Miraculous things have happened. You can trust me with your daily needs. I am one of abundance. You don't have to worry, and you don't have to always be looking over your shoulder. That has been such a great reminder for me as we head into this new year. You see, I tend to be a person who is a glass half empty. I have a scarcity mindset most of the time. And it's just good every once in a while to be reminded by God that I am a God of abundance. Jesus, who was and is to come, has not only cared for me up to this point, but will continue to care all eternity. And so I've been challenged, and I'm going to challenge all of us. Might we have a abundance mentality for this new year? May we even be a bit of a risk taker, as one who's willing to step out and to trust that God is at work, and that we'll let God define success, and we'll let God determine success and empower it, and we'll be faithful in the moment. We won't shrink back from any challenges. We'll actually step forward and meet whatever the moment is in the trust and the faith that God is in it and that Christ will work through us. If so, what we're going to find is that he's going to meet us in this place, and we will grow as people, and the places that we go and the people that we see and the situations that we encounter, they will be filled with the presence of Christ. So go for this new year, and may you be a risk taker. May you be a person of abundance, for we serve a God who is abundant.